Hello, everyone. This is Pretty Conspiracy. Yes, I know it's been a while. It's been a while. But there's so much that has taken place over the last, I would say, 4 to 5 months. I have just been in my own world trying to decipher these things that have been taking place. But I hope you guys have been doing well. I wanted to come on because Chadwick Bozeman passed away, and that was just shocking. That was a shocker. And I had no idea he was ill. I think most people did not know he was sick. And my friend, who is a huge Marvel Comics fan, we went and saw Black Panthers together, and she was crying and she was so upset. And I understand it. Because, we get deeply invested in celebrities and movies. They feel like family to us, even though we will never meet them, or, we don't know them. And they're just human beings just like we are. And a lot of times we idolize these celebrities, and they're just people. They're just human beings. And we not lionize them. Now, I want to look at this from with a critical eye, because I feel like I don't want to say this was a sacrifice, because okay, a lot of things lead me to believe this was a sacrifice, and then there's certain things that lead me to believe, well, this could just have been a natural process, something less sinister, because Chadwick Bozeman, I'm sorry, he played in a lot of movies over the last few years. Supposedly, he was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2016. And he made 7 movies during that time. And they said that he had countless surgeries and chemo and radiation and things like that. My dad passed from cancer. He had lung cancer. And people say, well, you couldn't tell that he had cancer. He played. Now, cancer can be very slow. Some people have cancer that they probably will deal with for a decade or more, because it's a slow process a lot of times. But some cancers are very, what they call, I guess they're rare cancers, and they're very fast moving. And so that's why you hear stories of people who found out they had cancer and they died like 6 months later, because the cancer was very aggressive. I guess in his case, Chadwick Boseman's case, his cancer was probably somewhat aggressive, but not super aggressive. So they say he was diagnosed at stage 3, which progressed to stage 4. Now, is that possible? Of course. My dad was diagnosed with lung cancer in October of 03 and passed away in August of 04. So literally 8-9 months. Now that during that time he had surgery, which they found out the cancer had spread, and then he had chemo and radiation, which basically sucked the life out of him. The chemo and radiation killed him faster than the cancer did. And he was a shell of a man at the time of his death. He lost. My dad was a big guy. He was tall. He was husky and muscular, and he was, confined to a wheelchair at the time of his death. So, having seen that and known that, cancer can kill you. It can be fast, or it can be a slow growing cancer. So that's why I say you have to look at things with a critical eye, because people say, well, we didn't know he had cancer, but I've met a couple guys who had colon cancer and who appeared very healthy, but at the same time they told me that they had caught the cancer very early, in early stages, and they were young men. They were young black men. One was 29, or is 29, 30. And, you couldn't tell that they was diagnosed with that. But again, his cancer was caught very early. So the probability of him having colon cancer is very, I could believe that. It's believable. But there's other things that lead me to believe that he was a sacrifice, because, and the only reason I think this, because that 42, he played Jackie Robinson in a movie called 42. He was promoting a organization called Operation 42 back in April of this year. That's when he made the Instagram post, and it showed him he lost a lot of weight, and people had growing concern over his health. And there's conflicting reports as to what his not death date, but his birthday. When you Google it, when I Googled it last night, it said 1977. And they say he was born in November 1977, which would mean that he would have meant that he was not 43, but he was 42 in actuality. But then they say he was born in 1976. So he was actually 43. Now, Wikipedia had two different articles, one stating he was born in 77 and others stating he was born in 76. Some people say it was 77, some people say it was 76. So I don't know what to believe about that, because if he was born in 77, he is technically still 42 years old. His birthday is not until November. So if he had passed at 42 years old, and yesterday, the 28th, happens to be Jackie Robinson's day in baseball, how convenient and how coincidental is that? Something just don't sit right. I try not to be a conspiracy theorist all the time, because I try to look at things rationally and from a critical eye. But when I see stuff like that, it's like something ain't right. Something is not right about that whole 42 scenario. And but on the other hand, he could have really actually been sick and have hidden it well, been able to keep it a secret. But I'm not. This one is a tough one, because I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure, but I'm not convinced that I'm not convinced it wasn't a sacrifice. But I'm not convinced that it was a sacrifice either. So I wonder what you guys think about this one, because this one was shocking. But maybe not so shocking because of the videos we've seen of him. And there was also a video of him, a photograph of him being taken to the hospital 2 months ago in a wheelchair. So there was things that were leading up to his demise, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of stumped on this one. It's definitely shocking. I didn't see it coming, and like most things in 2020, I have not, been prepared or expecting to see any of this. So, you guys let me know what you think. This is pretty conspiracy. Hopefully I'll do more videos. I don't know. Life gets in the way, so videos have taken a back seat. But let me guys know what you think about Chadwick Bozeman. I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't pronounce his last name. I think since the Kobe Bryant's passing earlier this year, nothing's really shocking, because you done seen and heard so much happen this year. So it's like, yeah. So I will talk to you guys later.